Welcome back to another video. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with me in my little corner of the internet. Happy October. We're finally in the full swing of fall. Happy October. Happy spooky season. Just wanted to share with you guys my new monthly tray. So I've already got it set up and I've already been like going heavy with a lot of my fall favorite fragrances. Some of them are a couple repeats from the previous month, so let me get those out of the way. As we see here, I've got Miss Twilly, Ride or Die, Love Twilly. This is a beautiful, spicy, white floral fragrance. Gave it a couple spritz in September, wanted to keep it on my tray for October because I feel like this wears perfectly during the fall season. So just wanted to give her a little bit more wear. And I think another repeat is Musk Noir by Narciso Rodriguez. And I love this fragrance. I couldn't part with it, not for October. I wanted to give it another month, another wear time. Beautiful dark fruits and musky suede scent. There's plum, there's heliotrope, there's suede, and then that classic Narciso musk. I couldn't part with it for the next month either. So those are the only two that I'm keeping from my previous September tray. The rest are all new fragrances that I'm going to wear for the month of October. Let's start with this one here. This is Versace's Crystal Noir. Beautiful, dark, aromatic floral. A beautiful kind of spicy aromatic floral. There's, pepper, ginger. In the opening, there's, I believe, cardamom. So it's a very spicy opening. Beautiful heart of like white florals. There's jasmine. And then there's a gorgeous like sandalwood dry down. Kind of an aromatic sandalwood. This is beautiful, and I feel like this is a great fall fragrance. The bottle also just matches the entire vibes of October. It's a particularly warm yet very stormy, overcast day today. So I think this is a perfect fragrance for this type of weather. I'm a very seasonal perfume wearer. Next one I have here is Illicit from Jimmy Choo, longtime favorite of mine. This is another sweet and spicy perfume. This one also features notes of ginger, but this is predominantly also a very honey and caramel based perfume. When I first got it, it was a very powdery fragrance. But now that I've gave it time to sit a bit, I can definitely see how it's become a very thick, heavy, syrupy, sweet, yet spicy fragrance. Still very, very classic designer scent profile, but I absolutely love this fragrance. A little goes a long way. I've had this for a few years and I'm slowly making my way through it, but I love Illicit during the fall season. On the side here, I have my gorgeous green heart. This is Aura, the Eau de Toilette concentration by Mugler. This is such a unique fragrance. I'm so guilty of not giving this enough wear. Truly I am, because it's not something that is so easily reachable. It's not a fragrance that I can find myself wearing during work. Usually I would reach for this during perhaps a night out. It's very sweet yet still very tart and very green. It is such a unique fragrance. There's vanilla, I believe there's rhubarb in the opening, so it's kind of tart and tangy. I want to say there's patchouli, but don't quote me on that right now. I don't remember the notes off the top of my head. I bought this at a whim. It was an impulsive purchase, but I'm such a big fan of Mugler fragrances. I think they are absolutely stunning. I think the bottles are so creative. They are gorgeous. Even if like I don't wear the fragrance for the fragrance itself, I cannot part with this bottle. I will not part with this bottle. It's absolutely stunning. And I find myself really appreciating a lot of Mugler scents, and I would love to continue to have them in my collection. So, yeah, we're definitely going to wear Aura for the month of October. And I also feel like, hello, this totally matches like spooky season vibes. Very green, almost kind of sort of like fantasy, witchy appearance. I absolutely love it. Next one, let's talk about this one here that I got going on in the back. This is Manifest Your Future by The Good Scent. Got this one heavily discounted at Marshall's, and this is a very sweet, kind of spicy, fruity fragrance. This has notes of like spiced apples and pears. There's caramel, there's vanilla. There's some spice notes like sage, some aromatic spice notes like sage. There's a coconut milk note. All in all, this is quite gourmand, but it's a little more of the fresher gourmands. Despite its kind of sort of spicy and sweet notes, it is still really light and airy. I saw in the past a lot of people said that this is like a very spicy apple cookie. They described it as that, and I didn't get any of that, heavy cookie gourmand facet. Really what I get is more of like a very spiced fruity fragrance. It smelled like a really sweet apple cider to me, which I love. Despite it not smelling as heavy gourmand as they were kind of marketing it to be, it still smells really nice. It took me some time to really appreciate the scent, but now that I do have it, clearly, hello, the dent kind of speaks for itself. Clearly I enjoy this fragrance. Like I said, it's very sweet, it's fruity, it's fresh, yet it still has, some gourmand elements. I think this is a great transitionary fragrance for fall, and I think, this type of fragrance I use as a way to kind of ease into the gourmand season, because fall is where I start to introduce my gourmands. Winter season is where I truly give them a lot more wear, and Manifest Your Future is like that sweet spot for me. Another lovely little cheapie is Vanilla Cream, also by The Good Scent. Like I said, find these at Marshall's. This is a really, really nice vanilla scent. To me, I think this is like one of my favorite affordable vanilla fragrances. When it comes to vanilla scents, I like them more on the affordable side. I'm just not that type of person to spend like $250 or $300 on something that just smells like vanilla. When I think of a vanilla scent, I think of something very fun, light going, easy. And that's exactly what Vanilla Cream is. This has like jasmine, pistachio, vanilla, caramel, actually, what am I saying? There's notes on the back here. Yeah, musk, sandalwood. It's not so much of a nutty fragrance. When I smell Vanilla Cream, this makes me think of vanilla Nesquik. But the Nesquik powder. It's not so milky in that sense, but it smells like the vanilla Nesquik powder. It makes me think of my childhood. I really, really think that this is such a fun fragrance to wear, and this is another one that I like to wear to ease into the gourmand season. It's so nice. It's like sweet yet airy yet vanillic. It just smells like you dusted yourself with vanilla powder. Honestly, like they should have called that, like they shouldn't have called it Vanilla Cream. They should have called it vanilla powder. Now, while I think that Vanilla Cream is a great cheapy vanilla, I think a really good designer vanilla is Miss Voce Viva, the Intensa version from Valentino. I think this is a fantastic combination of orange blossom and bourbon vanilla. Like, And I was so surprised when I smelled this. First of all, I don't hear anyone talk about Voce Viva. I know vanilla is having its hot moment. Vanilla is the scent note of the century right now. But no one talks about Voce Viva Intensa. It's a very simple, from what I saw on the notes online, it's a very simple fragrance. I believe there's some opening, perhaps perhaps like a fruity opening. Really what I get is the powdery, like a powdery orange blossom and a very dark, kind of woody vanilla. I absolutely love this fragrance. I think it's a very great, easygoing fragrance to wear. I think you could wear this at work, going for a night out, going out during the daytime. It's a very, very good fragrance. I love the bottle. And I think that this is something that I could definitely keep in my collection and wear for fall and winter season. Honestly, I have no, no notes, no notes. In the back here, I have another great affordable fragrance, Banana Republic's Dark Cherry and Amber. I've had this fragrance in my collection for a while now, a couple years. So far, I'm about just a little less than halfway through the bottle. This is a beautiful, fruity, airy, ambery fragrance. There's quite a lot of ambroxan in this fragrance. I actually, you know what? I think I'm come to terms with myself, and I think I do like the note of ambroxan. I know it is a very touchy note. Too much can be, kind of punchy on the nose, but I do like ambroxan. And this one has a good dose of it. It has that same cloud-like, almost like BR 540 airy sweetness about it, but with a beautiful, based beautifully with, like a very sweet syrupy cherry. I don't get that cough syrup cherry. It's just a very light, sweet, almost like a kind of how, Japanese cherry blossom had that airy, fruity sweetness about it. Same thing. It doesn't smell like Japanese cherry blossom, but it kind of has that same airy sweetness about it. I love this bottle. Honestly, I love the Banana Republic fragrance brand. I think they make fantastic fragrances, even if they are inspired by other designer and niche scent profiles. I think for $20, if you can find them at your local Burlington, I love them. I have no problem wearing them, purchasing them, and keeping them in my collection. And they look fantastic, lined up all together on a shelf. The squirrel brain collector in me wants to catch them all like Pokemon and just have them all beautifully displayed. But that's another thought for another day. In the back, I have another long time favorite of mine. This is Burberry's Brit. This is the Eau de Parfum concentration. This is such a lovely, bright, tart, yet powdery floral fragrance. This has an amazing combination of lime, powdered almonds, some sweet florals. I think there's peony, there's vanilla, there's wood. I love this fragrance so much. This is one of my, I've loved this scent for over a decade, easily over a decade. This makes me think of hanging out with my sisters. This makes me think of purchasing some of my first big girl fragrances. I love Burberry Brit. I said before, I have the Eau de Toilette and the Eau de Parfum. They smell pretty much the same. It's just this is a little more heavy hitting, and I think this is more appropriate for the fall season. So that's why I love to wear it for fall. On the side here, I have Miss Carolina Herrera, Good Girl. This iconic yet polarizing shoe. This is the Good Girl Eau de Parfum Légère. This is the Eau de Parfum Légère version. I had a travel size. I broke the travel size. I cried deeply and I repurchased the big bottle so that I will never be without this fragrance. I love this one so much. I love the majority of the Good Girl line, but the Légère is one of my favorite ones. I think this is a beautiful, lighter, brighter, and I think like slightly sweeter version of Good Girl. This has, dulce de leche. There's a little bit of cinnamon. There's that, classic white floral. Perhaps a little bit of cocoa in it. There's some of that still, that Good Girl like coffee note in it as well. I think this one has a little bit of like a bright citrusy opening. It could be bergamot, it could be mandarin, but I love this one so much. I think it's a fantastic version of the Good Girl, flankers. I can see why people dislike the bottle. I don't dislike it for the aesthetic. I think it's very cute, but I will say it's a little like hard to hold and maneuver with. I'm so scared of pressing against the stiletto part of of the bottle, but I will say that the spray, like the atomizer, I'm not going to spray it right now, but the atomizer is fantastic. It's like semi-pressurized and it opens out into like a bright, like wide mist. Really, really nice. Just holding it and maneuvering it is not ideal, especially because this is the 100 ml or the 90 ml bottle size. The smaller ones, the heel part comes off, and I think that's a little easier to work with. But, despite that con, I still love her. Next is a longtime favorite of mine that is also a cheapie, very affordable. Well, it was very affordable. I have no clue if it is nowadays. So I think they've discontinued this scent. This is M by Mariah Carey, and I will never stop talking about it. I will never stop talking about M by Mariah Carey. Justice for this perfume, justice for M, because they should have never discontinued this fragrance. This is a gorgeous combination of white florals, vanilla, marshmallow. There's like a salty note in the opening. With marshmallow and vanilla having such a moment currently, why must they discontinue this one? And why is no one talking about M? Honestly, this is a fantastic celebrity fragrance. It smells way more expensive than what it is. I wouldn't even expect like this was a celebrity fragrance. This is just I'm not gonna like get too emotional about it. One day I will hunt for a larger size bottle because this is only a 30 ml and I'm running dangerously low, as we can see here. This is a staple for the fall and winter season for me. It's just a fantastic combination of notes that smells like, tropical white florals and toasted marshmallows. And who doesn't want to smell like that? I love pairing it with Bath and Body Works Boardwalk Marshmallow Clouds. This is a very, very old body mist. I'm pretty sure this is 10 years old. I've had it in my collection for 10 years and I am slowly making my way through it. That's why I've stopped shopping at Bath and Body Works. I can't get through these mists. The last SAS I've shopped at was like 10 years ago. And I've not shopped there since because it's too much for me. But that being said, Boardwalk Marshmallow Clouds is a ride or die favorite of mine. Since like they first released this, I've loved it since then. I think me and my sisters, like, we all purchased like the entire line, the lotions, the body mists. This is a fantastic marshmallow scent. And again, with marshmallow being such a hot topic nowadays, this is a great marshmallow scent. It's sweet, it's light, it's airy, like a marshmallow. They put the notes on the back here. It's vanilla, the marshmallow accord, magnolia, sandalwood. So it honestly, it smells the way that it is. It's a very sweet, airy, slightly woody, vanillic scent that pairs fantastic with a lot of other sweet fragrances. Marshmallows and vanilla, they kind of smell the same. So it wears nicely with other vanilla-based scents or other marshmallow-based scents. And I love pairing it with M. I also loved pairing this with Moonlight by Ariana Grande, which is another fantastic marshmallow scent. That one had like plum and marshmallow. I've long finished it since, but another great fragrance that I used to love to wear. And on the side here, I got a couple of my Sand and Fog oils. I like to use these to layer. Sometimes I wear them by itself too. I have Midnight Blue and Pear Blossom. So Pear Blossom is an inspiration of Carolina Herrera's Good Girl. This is just a fruitier version of it. And I like to wear it with the perfume itself. Sometimes I wear it by itself. As you can see, I've given it just a bit of wear. These dropper bottles are nice. I've seen recently that they raised their prices. I bought this I think last year or so, and it was like $14.99 at TJ Maxx. Now they're like $16.99. So, that's a little disheartening to see. But honestly, like, I wouldn't spend anything over $25 for these oils. Truly, they are still an affordable oil. And like I said, I have Midnight Blue. I also bought this one for $12.99. So I think their dropper forms are more expensive because it's, a dropper bottle, and it's kind of nice to see. This one is a rollerball. I might be the only one to say this, but I actually like their oils in the rollerball form because it's a little easier for application when it comes to, your pulse points. But anyway, Midnight Blue is an inspiration of Black Opium. This one is a decent inspiration. I think it's lighter than Black Opium and a little fruitier as well. But what's nice with this one, it has like a really, really nice note of like peach and chocolate and milk. So it's a little creamy while still having like that signature Black Opium style fragrance. I also think this one doesn't have coffee. They replaced the coffee note with cocoa. So, that's my entire tray for October. This is what I will be smelling like for the rest of this month. I will be walking around like a floral sugar bomb. That's my vibe that I'm going for this month. A floral sugar bomb, which is kind of appropriate with like Halloween candy and, all of we're getting geared up for the holiday season. So we're seeing a lot of sweet treats around. Let me know what you guys think. Talk to me in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What are you wearing for the month of October? If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to. I always appreciate it. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye.